Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox and I am coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 7, Episode 7, I think it is. God, I can't believe we this far out already. And we only got 50 more episodes to go, y'all. So if you guys notice, I'm in a new location today. It's cold and rainy outside. I don't feel like going out into all of that. I'm on vacation. I am off of work. So we're going to do this video right here. I wasn't even really sure if I was going to do a video today. I told you guys this week was going to be iffy, but you know, I figured I can do a real fast video about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you guys watch it last night? I watched it. I was just like, oh, this is... Anyway, y'all, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, you guys, first things first, we got to get Nene out of the way. You guys know that she has this line with the HSN, Home Shopping Network. It's time for her to debut her line. I couldn't even concentrate on the line for trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with Nene's hair. I just was like, I was so clueless on to, because at this point it ain't even a laughing matter no more. It's just trying to figure out exactly why is it that her hairstylist think that it is okay to put her on TV looking like that. Like, I understand that Nene is trying to find a whole new look. I don't know exactly what the look is that she's going for, but I'm sure that one was not it. I was just like, who does this to her? They killed her on internet last night. Man, they had her compared to all different people. I was just like, she looks like Mo from the Three Stooges. If we was to give Mo a blonde, haircut, that's exactly how he would look. But yeah, they was like, she looked like Stewart from Mad TV, which I think was probably the best one. And then, did you guys see the one when she was supposed to be Hulk Hogan's mustache? I was cracking up. Anyway, yeah, I was just like, there's absolutely no way that I would actually pay somebody to put me on TV to look like that. It was so bad. Okay, not only was the cut horrible, but the color, like, it was so, oh, it was so bad. I don't know what it is that Nene is going for, but she needs to. It's just, I don't know why she don't stick with that little wave, little short little haircut, because all these other things, between the whole little George Washington, this new little Stewart, that big boofy curly thing, none of those things are working for her. And it's just so ridiculous that the star of a show can't get her look together. Nene, I want you to get it together now. Okay, but yeah, we we done talked about this head long enough. I really feel like we need to stretch the hands of prayer. Lord, please touch Nene's head right now. Touch her hairstylist. And whatever it is that they going through, please let them settle on something that is indecent and in order. Okay, in your name we pray, amen. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my God. It's bad. But anyway, enough on that travesty. I want you guys to leave down in the comment section. I want you to explain to me exactly what it is that you got from that haircut. Okay, from that wig that she had on. Because anyway, let me get on back to the show. So, Nene is debuting her line. She goes and she looks at the models, and it's like, all I can say is Nene's line is definitely true to Nene. All of that shit that they showed, I feel like I can definitely see Nene wearing all of those things. I feel like she probably has worn all the things, because Nene is very tunic-y, leggings and heels kind of person. So very basic. Nothing exciting. A lot of the things that you could probably find at Forever 21. But, I'm not hating, because, Nene says she lives for the dollar. Okay, so, and her line did very well on HSN. It's so funny to me. Why do they always do their debuts at midnight? Is it because they're just getting a start on the day? Because I'm just like, who the fuck was up? I mean, obviously people was up shopping. I did go look at the line, when it first happened. And this stuff it's not super pricey. I mean, it's nothing that you couldn't afford, but it still seems like it's a little bit more than, you would want to pay. Because like I said, most of that stuff you could probably find at Forever 21. But hey, can't knock the hustle. Nene's trying to do it, okay, for the small and the big girls. And like I said, it's nothing bad, but it's not nothing super exciting either. But yeah, that's it for Nene. Her cold shoulders tunic, that's the tunic with the arms out right here. That one's sold out. Okay, so good for Nene. But yeah, Nene, I don't know. That haircut you had yesterday, girl, that was not the most attractive look for you. Okay, you guys, and then Kandi goes over to Aunt Nora's house. Aunt Nora has like the cookouts of the year, evidently. Okay, and Kandi is excited. She's able to get together with her family, keeps her grounded, and they play cards, they eat. They just look like that type of family. You can already tell. So Kandi goes there with Todd and Riley, and of course Joyce is there because it's her sister's cookout. Joyce has a bit of an attitude. Go figure. She's upset because she feels like Kandi's been talking behind her back to the family about her boyfriend. The boyfriend that fucked up the house, right? Okay, so everybody is trying to get them back on track, okay? Kandi talks to Weenie, and Weenie was just like, your mama's upset. And Kandi was just like, I don't know what she upset for because I didn't do nothing to her, okay? Her boyfriend is the one that tore up my house. And then Weenie was just like, yeah, but you know how you get when somebody talks about your man, so she just mad that you talked about her man. And Kandi was just like, yeah, but my man ain't fucked up my house. Okay, so in the meantime, while Kandi is talking to Weenie, Joyce is in the house talking to Nora. And y'all know Nora. Nora just want everybody to just be together and just be happy, So she's the sweet sister out of the group, you can tell. Joyce is in that same real slow, kind of quiet, confused, tight teeth talking. It's like Kandi don't appreciate what I do for her. I was just like, what do you do for her, Joyce? I'm thinking like, all you do is give Kandi grief. Okay, had a bitch all over the United States having to defend her crazy ass mama. So I don't know why she should be thankful for having to fight for you all the time. But honey, that's neither here nor there. So Kandi is just on this thing like, I'm just gonna ignore my mama. But Nora ain't gonna let that happen. So Nora goes and gets Kandi. And she pulls her into the room. And Kandi's just like, well, mama, what's going on? I don't have the problem. You have the problem. I don't have a problem. You the one come texting me and telling me that you got upset with me for talking about. I was just like, Kandi had her phone. She was just like reading off the text messages. Kandi was just like, Mama, you the one that's tripping. And then Joyce, here she go. Because every time she feel like she's under the heat of the pressure, all of a sudden she got ailments. Kandi, I am on medication to keep myself from having an aneurysm. Because I'm tired of getting mad and angry. I'm tired of fighting. It was just like, she had to go do that whole weary, mama, I'm so tired of all of this, even though she's the one that causes all the fucking commotion. And of course, when she went through all of that, you could see the guilt that Kandi has, and all of a sudden Kandi flipped. Well, I don't want to fight anymore either. Then all of a sudden the shit was dropped. Okay, Kandi was just like, are you okay? Yes, I'm all right. And they hug it out and it's all over. So Kandi goes out because you know how she is. She always got to report. It don't matter what it is. She got to report to Todd, the conversation that she and her mom had. So she told Todd that, my mama say she on medication for keeping from having an aneurysm. I'm thinking to myself, like, since when do you know that you're going to have an aneurysm? And don't you have to have had an aneurysm first? Before so I'm thinking like, you just go to the doctor and be like, hey doc, I feel like I'm gonna have an aneurysm. I need some medication. Y'all help me out with that. My medical, people out there, doctors, what have you, nurses, what have you. But I was just like, oh my God, so dramatic. So I was just like, oh, okay. So when she's in trouble, when the heat is on her, then she gonna have an aneurysm. But okay, but when she fine and putting everybody else through hell, then we all supposed to feel bad. And he was just like, yeah, she be playing you. I was just like, yeah, she does. She plays her like a fiddle, honey. But yeah, that's it with Kandi and her mama, y'all. I told you, she ain't gonna be killing me. What else happened with Kandi? Oh, Phaedra went over to the house. Kandi was just like, how's everything going with you and Apollo? And, Phaedra was just like, I know Phaedra's just tired of every time she get with somebody that she got to be discussing this nigga when she's already so over him. But, she plays along. It's just like, it's just real awkward. He's going through a lot and, we don't really talk too much and, ain't really nothing going on there, So Kandi was just like, do I need to run upstairs and go get you some bedroom candy? I was just like, Kandi, you better get that plug in. Kandi gonna always be advertising her shit, okay? So then Kandi starts going on and on about her nephew, I think, or it's her cousin, Lil Melvin. Y'all know Big Melvin was in jail. And Lil Melvin evidently Big Melvin been in jail since Little Melvin was Little Melvin. Little Melvin is now the nigga big now. But Kandi stepped in and kind of helped take care of Little Melvin, so she feels like Little Melvin is like her son. So she calls Little Melvin to come into the room. She's just like, Little Melvin, come here. You know, I guess he gonna lay some knowledge on Phaedra. Phaedra looking like Melvin come in there, he's smiling, he got his polo shirt on or whatever. And, you know, Melvin is feeling good about being on TV. We ain't never heard of Melvin. We ain't never seen Melvin. But, you know, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean that I'm sure Kandi got a whole bunch of family that she taking care of. He was just like, yeah, you know, my dad was in jail and yeah, I knew about it. And, you know, Phaedra was just like, so they told you? And he was just like, yeah. And he was like, just tell your kids. There's nothing else that you can do but tell them. And he goes through this whole long thing about, you know, how he knew how his dad was. And, you know, it was getting real touchy kind of, you know. And then all of a sudden Phaedra goes, well, have you had any legal problems of your own? And he was just like, oh, yeah. And she was like, have you been to jail? And he was just like, yeah, a couple of times. And I was just like, you gonna get the nigga in here to be trying to tell something, and he been in trouble his own fucking self, you know. So Phaedra was just like, well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to take my kids down there, you know, for them to think that this is okay, even though, you know, if we really got to try to talk to Phaedra, I'm thinking like, Phaedra, your man was a criminal before you guys got married. You knew this. So what was you going to tell your kids to begin with? Was you just not going to ever tell them about that part? I mean, so it was nothing that she could hide anyway. But, you know, Phaedra was just like, I just don't want them to think that going to jail is okay in the way to go. And of course, Kandi had to jump in because she was getting upset. I was super, super disappointed because even though he's my cousin, he like my son. And I love him with all my heart. And that's why I always been there for him in that way, because I felt like he didn't have nobody to turn to. You know, he slipped. So I was just like, oh, Kandi. Phaedra was sitting there listening, but you could tell Phaedra was just like, girl, don't be sitting here having some old jailbird come talk to me about how, you know, he's a better person because he knew his daddy was in jail. But, you know, little Melvin, who's now big, it seems to be like he's back on track, okay? He's in school. He's about to get his degree. He wants to be a social worker for troubled kids, so good for him, okay? We paying it forward. It's one big cycle, so hopefully Melvin's life has changed. But Phaedra looking like, honey, I'm still not real sure what my baby's gonna be like. Cynthia's at her studio with the Bailey boys, and Demetria walks in because, you know, Cynthia's going to help Demetria, I think, cast the video guys for her video. I wasn't really sure what they was talking about, because at this point I thought the video was already done. So maybe I got this wrong. I don't know why exactly Demetria was there, but you know, she's talking to Cynthia. Peter walks in, and so they you know, the Bailey boys, they walk out. They leave these three to have their little discussion. So they're talking about what's going on. Demetria has this video premiere party that's coming up. She wants them to come. Peter was looking at her. You know, Peter, he's the consummate island man. You know, he ain't never seen a beautiful woman that he ain't liked. So he was just like, oh yeah, I think I got some boys that I can meet you. You know, I can hook you up with. And she was just like, oh, you know, I'm already taken. And they both were like, oh, really? By who? And she said, Roger Bob. Now, you know what? Listen, this is my first time ever hearing about a damn Roger Bob. But evidently, Roger Bob been making some moves out here in Atlanta. Roger Bob was a producer for Tyler Perry. You guys know Demetria used to be on some of those Tyler Perry shows. I've never watched any of his shows. I don't really know which one, but she was working on the show. Roger Bob was a producer on the show. I guess Tyler was very strict. He didn't want no relationships like that going on. So they couldn't have a relationship while they worked together, even though it sounds like they had some shit going on underground. However, let everybody tell it on the show, Roger Bob got around quite a bit, okay? Because nobody seemed to know that he'd been dating her on and off for 8 years. So I think he's been dating her more off than on, and dating quite a few other women in Atlanta. Yeah, that's Roger Bob's story. So they're just like, what the fuck? Since when did you start dating him? You know, so she tells them the whole story. Whatever, you guys. So since she invites them to this soiree that she's having, you know, Cynthia's like, oh, I gotta invite my new leader, Kenya. And Demetria was like, Kenya who? And she was like, Kenya Moore. And she was like, oh no. And she don't need to come because, it was a problem with her. She took a picture with Roger Bob at Peter's birthday thing. And, the blogs was like, that's her new man. And she didn't never try to correct it. It was kind of, I thought that whole thing was like childish because, the blogs. Would you just gonna run after everybody and be trying to correct, what the blogs say? To a point, yes, I understand. But when the blogs are always running off with some story with you, you can't just be behind them every time. And plus, you guys know whenever your name is in the blogs, at least that is some publicity for you. So yeah, Demetria, I was just like, girl, please. Kenya is having this photo shoot. Cynthia and Claudia. Is it Claudia? Claudette? Claudia? I can't never remember what that child's name is. They both come. And, they're talking about how cute Claudia and is that her name, Claudia, you guys? I guess it's Claudia. They're talking about how cute Claudia is and how cute Kenya is and why are they single. So they're talking about how they should start dating. Kenya brings up Roger Bob again, okay, and how, he's a good catch and he's this person that's who's who in Atlanta all of a sudden, like I just said. Cynthia's just like, oh, no. Now Roger Bob dating my girl Demetria. And Kenya was just like, since when? Okay, like everybody else. Cynthia's just like, yeah, they're dating. She's having this video release party. I want you guys to come. And, but then she tells she tells Kenya all the shit that Demetria was talking about, how they took this picture and how Kenya didn't say nothing about him not being her man. And Cynthia was just like, and Kenya, why can't I get these words together? Kenya was just like, okay, she sounds like she might be just a tad bit crazy. I can't be running behind everybody they say I'm dating. But Kenya, because she knows that she got her eye on Mr. Roger Bob, or at least that's the way they present it to us on the show. She goes to his office because she wants to talk to him about getting some kind of production together with him. I'm not sure what they was talking about. But Roger Bob is, average nigga, power nigga at the place who knows he got the upper hand, who's a little bit flirtatious but doesn't necessarily step over the line. He's used to dealing with beautiful women, obviously, so he's not really getting beside himself, even though she's sitting there, all done up, all glammed up and, flirting and laughing and all of that. I don't want to say overtly flirting, but obviously, beautiful woman is used to being around men, and they usually use those type of feminine wiles to get what they want. This the whole I like you, I like how you think, or I like how you think too. But I thought it was real funny when he put it out there that he was dating that Demetria McKinney girl. Okay, he didn't try to, he didn't split no hairs or nothing. Okay, he was just like, yeah, I'm seeing her. Kenya was just like, really? I'm shocked. Okay, even though Cynthia told her already, I think she was just shocked at the fact that he did not try to act like he wasn't with her. Maybe it was going against a little bit of what they had thought the show was going to go. So he cut that shit right away. Okay, not only did he cut that shit right away, but the night of the damn party when everybody goes to Demetria's, this video release that she has, this bootleg video release. I'm just like, you need to do better. Maybe it was just for the show. How is it that we had your video release and you can't put a damn USB into the computer and play it on the TV? Like, I couldn't understand what the problem was there. I said Roger had the last laugh because he got all the hoes together at the damn party and then he didn't show up. Okay, so Kenya was all dazzled up and she was just like, I didn't got all gussied up for this Negro. He ain't even here. Demetria tells the girls that, yeah, she's sprung basically on Roger Bob, and if he was to ask right then, she would say yes. But like I said, he doesn't show up for this big night of hers because he had some editing to do. Now, I do know editing can be quite a bit. Maybe, Roger could set aside a couple of hours to be there for his woman on her big night. So yeah, all that was some bullshit to me. And then it looked like that Cynthia, oh my God. Is Cynthia talking about me right now? Why do I keep saying her name? It looked like Kenya and Demetria was going to have some problem because, Demetria was kind of, confronting her about the fact that she took this picture with Roger Bob, and Kenya was just like, let it be known right now that I do not want your man. You don't have nothing to worry about. So Demetria looked like she was gonna turn up, but then she backed down and she was just like, okay, well, I ain't on no bullshit or nothing. I guess Demetria was just like, bitch, I just wanted you to know. Okay, that I know. Right now, you don't really know what the relationship is going to be with Kenya and Demetria McKinney. It was just, it was dramatics, and then it was nothing. Oh, how was y'all feeling about that side boob shirt? I actually thought the look was kind of cute. I just was like, I'm not really sure how I felt about it. I mean, obviously they had it taped to her boob so it wouldn't come up, but yeah, what did y'all think about the side? The skirt was beautiful. I thought the skirt with the shirt. I'm still not sold on the shirt. The outfit wasn't bad. It just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't my taste. But so you think that the night is gonna be just like we didn't built up for that, and you think it was gonna be a bus, and then in walks Apollo. And Apollo is on 10 for real, okay? He wants to talk to his woman. Now it is when you just had a fight with your man and you thought you was gonna be out with your girl, then he show up and then the whole time you just like, why is he here? He goes over there and sits down. You know, he gives everybody a hug. He gives Brandon a hug. You know, he gives Peter some dap. He gives the girls all a hug at the that's sitting there. Then he sits down and, you know, Phaedra's just having this deadpan look on her face like, here we go. Apollo's sitting over the other side like, hey, Phaedra. Hey, yo, Phaedra. Yeah, can I talk to you? Well, I guess I'm going to move over here. He's just really just like doing the most. He got his arms around her and he was just like, listen, you know, how you going to be today? Because I can switch this shit up, okay? You can be the loving wife. You can be the bitch that you've been to me ever since all this stuff came out about me being in legal trouble, you know? So she was just like, well, you don't even come home to talk. Like, why are you trying to do this shit here? And he was just like, I'll be at home. You don't say nothing to me. You ignore me. You know, it's been more the same. But I felt bad for her because you could tell that she was truly, like, embarrassed / trying not to get mad, trying not to put her shit out there. You guys know how Phaedra is very private. Apollo was just really taking her there, you know, just like, let me hold you. He had his arm around her and was hugging on her and everything. And she was just like, I feel bad for her and Apollo because they're in a bad situation. They have to live it out on camera. It's obvious Phaedra doesn't want to do it, but she has to, and it's just been, I'll be glad when Apollo finally just get his ass off to jail and be done with it. Just uncomfortable for everybody. Everybody sitting there is just sort of like, okay. So yeah, didn't you guys think that shit was funny? No, he just really was not trying to let up. I was like, why don't Peter just come and get this boy? He is making a fucking scene. So that's it, you guys. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Itsrox, the channel is for Itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right? All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.